Gunfire near a Denver high school leaves 2 boys wounded.
A boy fell to his knees, and the whole staff, including our clients and everything, ran out there.
As police search for the shooter, we are hearing from bystanders who rushed to help.
Record-breaking heat causing schools to close early and putting potential strains on our power grid.
Yes, it is a realistic concern going forward.
Tonight, we're going in depth on this early September heat wave and when we'll see our temperatures take a dip.
Plus, a revolutionary procedure giving Coloradans a second chance at life.
I don't want to be tied to either a machine every night or a machine 3 times a week. I want to live my life.
Frightening moments near Denver East High School this afternoon as gunshots leave 2 boys injured.
Witnesses tell Denver 7 the shooting happened about 4 this afternoon just outside the Carla Madison Rec Center. This is East Colfax and Josephine Street.
Denver 7's CB Cotton is live tonight, hearing from one witness who rushed to help one of the boys who'd been shot.
Jessica, witnesses tell me the shooting happened just behind me here at the recreation center. At this hour, we don't know the condition the teens are in, but you can imagine how terrifying this was for the people who work along East Colfax as those gunshots rang out. Scary, scary moments. But many here acted so bravely, running from their businesses to attend to the injuries they saw. Wednesday afternoon, concerned parents wait and watch for their child to exit the doors of East High School. The lockdown has been lifted, but anxiety lingers.
You go to school to learn, not to deal with stuff like this.
Around 4 p.m., Denver police say 2 teen boys were shot just a short walk from the school in front of the Carla Madison Recreation Center.
A fight broke out, and one boy was body slammed by another, and then, fighting.
Shelly Martinez works in a barber shop across the street and witnessed the commotion. She says some adults broke up the fight, but moments later, gunfire.
Boom, 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 like that. And we saw a boy fall to his knees, and the whole staff, including our clients and everything, ran out there to assist the juvenile. I took his shirt off and hold pressure on his face until the ambulance got there. But there was a client of ours who was actually a doctor that was there with me, so we were attending to him.
Martinez, grateful to have a doctor's help during the chaos.
There was no exit wound. It was just right in the cheek right here. Got shot in the face.
Now she hopes others can heal from the horror and hurt that unfolded.
This gun violence type of stuff needs to stop. Yeah, it's too much.
In a letter sent home to parents of students at East High School, the principal said additional support will be made available to students who need it following this scary incident. I also want to note that at this hour, Denver police say no arrests have been made, but they're asking anyone with information to contact Crime Stoppers. Reporting live tonight, I'm CB Cotton, Denver 7.
We're going back in time tonight on this Weather Action Day. It was 2 years ago tomorrow when Denver saw one of its earliest snowfalls on record. It was part of a system that dropped 1 inch of snow in the Mile High City and between 4 and 10 inches in the mountains and on the Front Range.
So then fast forward to tonight, talking about record heat. And look at this sunset over Denver tonight. Beautiful day, hot day. We broke a record today. We are on course to break a record tomorrow as well. And if you've lived in Colorado long enough, you know that heat waves in early September are uncommon.
Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson begins our team coverage tonight with a look at why heat waves like this are becoming more common.
Let's take a look at some data. This is from Climate Central. They analyzed 240 different stations across the United States for average temperatures. And you can see across the West since 1970, an increase in average fall temperatures by about 4 degrees. And we're seeing it in Denver with the days that average above normal in the Denver area. About 2 more weeks of hotter than normal temperatures compared to what we had about 50 years ago. So autumn is getting warmer, and that is due to climate change. The world is warming up as well because of carbon dioxide levels are increasing from 280 parts per million at the beginning of the Industrial Revolution to 418 parts per million today. It's caused by the burning of coal, oil, and natural gas because we can recognize the isotopes of the carbon. We know it is burned carbon-based materials such as oil, coal, and natural gas. Each one of those CO2 molecules acts like a feather in a down comforter that traps heat that would otherwise escape into outer space. Without significant reductions in carbon, Denver's climate will warm to be like Amarillo, Texas by 2060 and northern Mexico by 2100. So This is a major concern, and everything that you're seeing, whether it be the wildfires, the shrinking of the snow and ice, the flooding rains, and the heat waves and drought, is related to a warmer world because of increasing carbon dioxide in the atmosphere.
All right, thank you, Mike. And with record-setting temperatures possible again tomorrow, dozens of DPS schools will be closed or letting out early because they don't have AC. Now, one of those schools is Bradley International, which also let out early today. And we heard from one parent frustrated by the situation.
Who's really paying the price are our children. Our children need to be safe and they need to be learning. And when school is called off and families don't have options, that's not safe.
And we've put together a full list of the schools closing early because of the heat right now at Denver7.com.
Record temperatures aren't just stressing us, they're stressing our power grid too.
Across Colorado last week, Xcel Energy had to lock tens of thousands of customers out of their own smart thermostats to ease the strain. Those customers had opted into a money-saving program with that utility.
And in California, officials are pleading with residents to reduce energy use at peak hours to avoid rolling blackouts. So what could the future of our energy use look like as extreme temperatures become more common?
Well, that is the question Denver 7's Rob Harris set out to answer tonight. Rob?
Yeah, so Shannon, engineers and environmental scientists see it as a vicious cycle. Our energy consumption drives climate change. Climate change drives more severe weather, and severe weather in turn causes us to increase our energy consumption. So I talked to an engineer with CU Boulder about this today, the current threats to our energy grid and how they could be worse in the future if we don't adapt.
The technology is going to have to keep up with.
Aisling Piggott is a PhD student at CU Boulder School of Engineering.
So I guess I'll start by just kind of give me your top line reaction to what you're hearing and reading about what's happening in California amid this heat wave.
The primary reason that we have HVAC installations is often because they keep us safer, so we're not roasting in our buildings at 120 degrees. So like my first thought is like, oh my gosh, I hope everyone is okay.
Should we in Colorado be concerned that we could see similar issues with our grid in the coming years as we see these increasing temperatures as well?
Well, we've already seen, as you know, like last week, Xcel has blocked out a lot of consumers from changing their HVAC. From changing their AC setback temperatures. So I think, yes, it is a realistic concern going forward.
Piggott was part of recent research on air conditioning use, setting out to settle a hot debate that's popped up in households for decades. Whether we should be turning off the AC when we leave our homes for work or school.
There's a lot of people who think that the startup cost of turning your AC on after it's been off all day, your house is nice and warm, is a lot higher than if you had just run it all day. There's parts of that are true and parts of that aren't true. If you're going to be gone for the whole day, definitely turn off your AC.
Is there a future where we can keep our current use of air conditioning going and keep up with rising temperatures, or will we have to change our lifestyle and behavior?
I think that the question from the engineering side is always how do we support people's current behavior? Because I think that in my experience, it's a lot more difficult to change someone's behavior, even around this ask of changing their thermostat setback, than it is to try to design new technologies.
Now, Piggott and her fellow engineers are working on those new technologies right now. But in the meantime, it is important that we ease the strain we're putting on our energy grids. And we can do that both by reducing the energy we consume and also by investing in those renewable and energy efficient options whenever we have the option to. Shannon?
All right, helpful stuff tonight, Rob. Thank you very much. And people wanting to make their homes more energy efficient can get tax incentives through that newly passed Inflation Reduction Act. These include rebates for upgraded furnaces, water heaters, and home appliances, 30% tax credit for energy-efficient windows, doors, and insulation, and 30% tax credits on the installation of solar panels.
Record-setting heat is not only troublesome for our power grid, it can also be problematic for our health. Today I talked with Dr. Will McNitt at Platte Valley Medical Center and found out that taking certain medications can make you more prone to sunburn.
The common ones that I worry about from the emergency department, because we see them prescribed a lot and we prescribe them, would be things like a drug that's sold under the trade name of Bactrim or trimethoprim. That can definitely give you a photosensitive dermatitis or a bad sunburn. So can doxycycline, that's another antibiotic, or ciprofloxacin, which is another antibiotic, Cipro, that's really common.
Dr. McNitt says he's also seen severe sunburn with patients using the skin medication retinol. He says seniors and those with mobility issues are most susceptible to heat exhaustion, so he recommends staying extra hydrated on hot days, and if you have to be outside, limit sun exposure.
New technology changing life-saving medical procedures.
Life as you know it won't ever be the same with this diagnosis.
How robots are helping doctors in Colorado give patients new kidneys.
And a new article providing new insight into how Russell Wilson became a Bronco.
One more day of record high temperatures tomorrow, and then a big change comes with a cold front.